What's up, gamers? Itzkoopa here. We're with Trey Smith, the creative director on NBA Jam. So I guess the first question is, what has taken so long?
I don't know. It's been 17 years. 1993 was when the original...
Wow, was it that long?
Yeah, and it did $1 billion in the arcades, one quarter at a time.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. I remember a lot of those quarters are mine.
Yeah, me too.
I started working for an arcade and it ended up being cheaper.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. So it's, if it was up to me personally, we would have done this a long time ago, but I'm actually thankful because it's high time that it comes back,
Yeah, it's a great time. I mean, we got the resurgence in like all the old school retro, and this fits in, and the nostalgia, and then the people like us who played it way back when. Yeah. Now we just want more.
Yeah.
So I guess it's enough reminiscent, enough nostalgia. What do we got that's coming new to the series? Are there new multiplayer modes?
There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, first and foremost, the gameplay side of things, we knew we needed to add a couple of layers of strategy. So back in the day, it was shove or be shoved. That was pretty much it. We wanted to add one more layer by adding empowering the ball carrier. So if you're dribbling and you know somebody's coming at you and you know they're going to shove you, hit a spin button so you can do a spin move and they'll shove right through you.
Oh, so you basically get like dribbling skills.
Yeah, you get a little of an evasion move. And then the dribble move that we've got, we call it the ankle breaker, is if you got a defender right up on you, you do this dribble move and it kicks them into a stumble animation.
And then you're free to shoot or dunk in their face.
Exactly. And then the alley-oop. The alley-oop was not in the original Jam. It came in like
one of the other versions.
Showtime. Like that was the same team, so we felt comfortable. And yeah, so that's the strategy side of things. Half the game, as far as the campaign mode, we've got two. The first one is classic campaign. That's exactly what you would have got back in the arcade.
Let's go through.
Where's the first ladder tournament? We threw in some legendary 2-on-2 battles.
Nice. Bill Clinton, Al Gore?
We got some secret characters. We're going to be as true to the original Jam as we can on that front. You guys are going to be psyched with who we got.
Awesome.
But the final 2-on-2 match in the classic campaign is against Bird and Magic.
Nice. That's a great one.
Neither one of those guys have ever been in Jam, so that's pretty cool. And then the second half of the game is something we're calling a Remix Tour. And that's kind of everything you remember about Jam, like that core experience, but us playing around with stuff. There's half-court games. There's one-on-one boss battles, like a la Punch-Out.
Interesting.
Which is really cool. I mean, Magic is like disappearing on the court. And the first time you play, you're like, okay, there's no way I'm going to beat this guy. And then like you play 20 times and he kicks your ass.
Figure it out a little bit.
And all of a sudden you have that aha moment of, oh, wait, oh. And then, and it feels really good when you finish one of the boss battles. And then we got another game called Backward Smash, which is awesome. And it's...
Dunk contest?
It's a Street Fighter meets NBA Jam. So that idea came up with a lot of fans. They said their favorite part about Jam was smashing the backboard. So we're like, okay, how do we take that moment and create an entire game mode around it? So each stanchion has a health meter. And if you just sink a regular shot, it just takes a little bit off the way, and if you're on fire and you do an alley-oop, then it takes a big chunk, and the goal is to destroy your opponent's backboard before they destroy yours.
Interesting.
Classic 2-on-2, still Jam, but obviously you want some big dunkers and that.
Versus, yeah, it's very cool.
So, Remix it's still Jam, but it's a lot of the stuff, and that's exclusive to the Wii, that Remix tour.
Is there going to be any online stuff for the Wii?
Well, what we've got is, we broke off a chunk. My little Wii team, those guys were awesome. We were exclusive for a year and a half. And then the higher-ups at EA said, hey, we're doing some really cool stuff with NBA Elite 11. They're doing some new controls things. They've got some physics things, and they're like, can we break off like a demo of Jam to put in to thank people for trying out Elite? And I was like, sure. So we went back to the team. We're like, okay, let's put together a demo for the PS3 360. And they actually over-delivered on it. So it's a demo. You get that classic campaign that we talked about, and you can jump online. And then on the Wii, for us, it was just, we tried to get there. We're running at 60 frames per second. We're pushing...
Which is fantastic. I love games at 60 frames per second. They just look so much smoother.
The original designer, Mark Trammell, he's the original programmer as well. He's now an employee at EA. We were going for about 6 months before he came on board, and as soon as he got hired, I was like, hi, Mark. Mr. Trammell, sir.
I'm working on your property, thanks.
This is your baby. No, and it was one of those things where we're just like, can I pick your brain a little bit? We're working on this, and he's just like, how about I just fly up? And we're like, yes, please. We're up in Vancouver. And he came up and hung out with the team, and it was just awesome. He played it, and I was like, my hands were shaking when I gave him the controller. And he just stone-faced played it. I could tell there was a couple of moments of frustration here and there. But then at the end of it, he's like, you guys need to do this, 60 frames per second, and I think you guys got it,
awesome.
Good. So hitting 60 frames, and then the anti-aliasing we've got on the visuals, that was important to us, was make it pretty.
Make it look as good as you can on the Wii.
The original Jam, it just raised the bar for video.
Yeah.
I mean, you put like FIFA or Madden up in 1993 up against the arcade cabinet, and Jam was just the most beautiful. It was the first game where you didn't have just a bunch of blobs running around the screen. It was the first game that had digitized faces, where you could actually see the player. So yeah, running 60 frames, doing all the pretty stuff that we're doing, and the gameplay on it. It was too tough to get online. We tried, we couldn't get it to a solid frame rate, and I'm not about putting out a half-ass online, feature set. When it comes to that, if it's going to be Jam, it's got to be rock solid 60 frames all the way through.
Fantastic. I'm sure we're going to appreciate it. So NBA Jam comes out exclusively for the Wii when?
October 5th.
October 5th, so we're not too far away. And also you can get it on Elite 11 for PS3 360, but that's kind of a demo version, not the whole shebang.
Yeah, it's chunked up, but I mean, if it goes well, hopefully we're all waiting.
Roll it in.
We're waiting. We're just like waiting for that call from upstairs. Like, blow it out. That's what we're hoping for. If we get it out there and you guys dig what we've done, I'd say there's a pretty good shot at it.
Can't wait to check it out.
Thanks so much.
Awesome.